Alright, so I'm going to make 2 cards. I'm going to make one with the ArtHouse Whimsey printable, and she has a ton of digital downloads. I will try to put them in the digital downloads that are free. That's the important thing. And she has a lot that I think are just very affordable. And I don't have a color printer, so I printed these at a local office supply store like FedEx or Kinko's. And then also from the Collage Soup Queen of Hearts book, and Emily has tons and tons and tons of books. She also has free options available and puts her books on sale quite a bit. These are, let's see, I know I have a face left, otherwise I'm going to have to find a queen face. Let's see, that's small enough. Some of these were too large for a card. Well, I could do one of those. Maybe. Alright, or I can find, I know I have a couple of queen faces left. But I'm not sure where it is right now. So we will start with this gal, and I'm going to pick out a back for her, and kind of looking at, you know, similar color scheme to these. These were a little bit on the darker side, but not all of them. What makes them cohesive are the papers, the common papers, I think the style of the faces, and the doodles, the text. That one's similar color to this. I think I'll just go with that. And it also has, she's got, I'll probably cut it off, but she has some of the orange, or her hair is red. I'll go ahead and do this one. And I'm going to move these. I think I'll keep one here as a sample. I'll keep this one as a sample. Alright, I need a sip of coffee. Hang on. Okay, things are getting better. Alright, so I'm going to start, I've done all of the cards with faces as portraits, which means it's going up and down with the short side up. And then these cards I did landscape, and it wasn't necessarily intentional, it's just how it happened. So let's see, so I'm going to tear, and also I think, you know, things develop when you do so many. I started by cutting these out and then cutting out the faces, and then as time went on I ended up tearing it, which I liked a little bit better. And if you tear away from yourself, you will not get the white. See how that is white? You see the white paper? Because I tore away from myself, I didn't get the white paper here, and I don't want that. I can show you, here's a scrap. So if I tear towards myself, see how I'm getting that I got the white paper. But by tearing away from myself, I don't get that white paper. So just depends on really what you want. See, I was tearing towards myself and now I got some of that white paper. Oh well. The other thing that I really love is texture, so I'm going to cut a piece of this. I got that at my local art supply store. And I'm going to use this for her, kind of like her dress area. I didn't quite make it as long as I would have liked it to come all the way over, but oh well. I have another piece. Might put that on. And then I have just these odds and ends scraps lying around on my desk. And so I'm just trying to decide what's next. I didn't use this paper on this card, but I did on these. And I think I like it, so I'm going to tear a piece off here. And I just kind of lay things out first before I glue them. Sometimes I know right away. I put stuff down and I'll know right away that is what I want. I'm also designing the card so kind of in a corner, if you will. So she's lined up on the side of the card, and then I have more material coming around here, and I'm leaving this space plain for some doodles, and this is the area where my word is going to go. So I have planned out a little bit of a composition. In collage, I also like all of my papers to touch, and so that's also happening here. I have these dots that I made with a stencil on deli wrap, food wrap paper. Kind of looks like bubble wrap, and I really like those. Kind of looks like a moon behind her. So this is the collage that I'm going to use for this card. And today I'm using Mod Podge because it's what I have. I need to get some more gel medium. But I'm out of that. Actually, I bought some, but it is Liquitex Iridescent. So it has pearlescence in it. It gives a reflective opalescent sheen. And it's not the one I wanted, and I don't know if I would use it, so I think I need to take it back. Alright, so I'm going to take this off. You could take a picture of it if you need help remembering where you put things. I've done that. Especially, I've done that primarily when I'm working larger, but or I've done that when I'm not really sure if I like it, and I'll take a picture of it before I glue things down and just look at it away from the working table. And I'm covering the whole picture. And this wasn't quite long enough, so I have this itty bitty scrap I'm going to use over here. This is another, this is from, you can see how tiny that is. This is from a company called Taperology. And I love her stuff too. I got a set of, it's called tape, but it's not, it doesn't have a sticky back like tape does. But it's this really yummy, I don't know, it kind of feels like paper tape. And this set has all different kinds in it. There's this black one that I really love. Oops. I haven't used it yet. I started to and then I changed my mind. But there's a little piece. And there's gold and silver, and I really, really like this one a lot. This one is like a bronze and white, almost like a fleck. I love that one. And there's a gold one and a silver one like that too, and there's brown. But I love that. I turn the paper around sometimes. I like it better a different direction. That piece of paper that I just put on, years ago I bought this little tiny clipboard, and it had a bunch of receipts on it from a grocery store, and the date on the paper was 1924. There was receipts from a produce store from 1924, and the paper is so fragile. It took me a very, very long time before I actually used it. Let's see. My cats, I've got 2 cats of my own, and then a neighbor cat comes over every morning and evening for breakfast and dinner, and visits inside the house as well. And I can hear them playing and running around, being silly. Alright, so I'm going to trim. There's just a little bit of that needs to be trimmed off, so I'm going to trim that off. Okay, and I'm going to let the glue dry before I glue on my word and do the doodles. So we'll do the other card. All right, I'm just going to use one of these. They're a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Not that much. All right, so again, looking at the backs, I chose reds, except this one was not red, and I really liked that. It was kind of a green and pink, blue and pink, I'm not sure. But I think, let's see, I love making these cards when I feel like being creative, but I don't really have the brain power to draw or create, I can't talk. More coffee. What is speaking to me today? I did these cards on gray toned mixed media paper because I love the tan tone, and so then I bought all the colors, blue, gray, black, and the gray and the blue are just too cool for me. I have a really hard time with them, and I also don't tend to use white for my art pieces, and so I used that paper for these cards. Okay, just pick one. I'll just do that one. And I think I'll just pick this face because she's on the end. And I'm going to try to cut so that I save that crayon for another use. This book is also available in a digital download, so if you, I have a hard time cutting them up, but if you get the digital downloaded book, the ebook, you can, you know, you can print them over and over again and you don't have to worry about cutting them. But for me, there's something about having the book that I just love. So you can see I'm cutting this one out instead of gluing. I'm cutting this one out instead of tearing. And because her face is a little bit larger, I'm going to put her off the page and then trim it. All right. And then also trying to decide which direction do I want it to go. I think maybe I will put the dark color on the top of this one. So I'm going to glue her down and see I have all this, these edges to trim off. Okay, and I want to add some texture, and so I am going to keep it cohesive with the other cards that I made, the other Queen of Hearts cards. And I'll get this one out. And I used this paper tape from Taperology. I think I'll just put some, kind of put her head a little bit low. Oh well. Okay, maybe I put it up here instead for crown. And I'm going to use the same, some of the same papers I used on that other card. Maybe that's kind of like a necklace. And let's see. Oh, I made these little flowers just with my, actually with my, either my Marvy markers or my Tombows. Might have been Marvy. And what you want to pay attention to is if you're using markers and you're going to glue over them or paint over them, if they are permanent or not, and this is not. And so I had one gal where I didn't realize that, and then I painted, I glued over the flower and it made it bleed, and so then she had this big pink cheek. I fixed it so you can't tell, and now I can't find which one it was. So anyway, you just want to be cognizant of what, if the markers bleed or not. So I'm using those for flower on the cheek. And then I brought these daisies in just as kind of a compliment. And I'm also using some of these are just hash marks that I made. With all my different marker colors. I wanted to see how many of them still worked. They were really old, and there were quite a few that still worked. I think I might do this one. Really old. I mean, it's from when I used to do scrapbooking and stamping, and that was in the 90s. So I don't even want to try to figure out how long ago that was. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, maybe I like this one better. Yeah. So just try things out, see what you like. There's no right or wrong, really. If you want to think about composition and cohesion and things like that, then you know, that is something to consider as you're designing your card. But what I love about collage is it's really about experimenting and playing and just trying out different things. I also used washi tape on these Queen of Hearts cards, so I will see if I can add some washi tape to her. Okay, I'm going to start gluing these pieces down. The other animals that we have running around in the morning, we have a baby raccoon, which I mean, they're so cute. I really like them. They come and eat our cat food, but I don't like my cats out there when they're there, as you might imagine. And then yesterday morning I saw a ginormous possum, which is fine too. I don't want them out there with my cats, or my cats out there at the same time. Because, I mean, I think they're going to leave each other alone, but I'm not sure my cats would win. They're indoor cats, really indoor, and then the backyard. They don't really go anywhere. They don't have, you know, street smarts, if you will. But that was a huge possum, and he was eating our raspberries. And the possums are okay. They're good for the garden. I just don't want... the possums also eat the cat food. I just don't want them to get in a row with the cats. Alright, so because this little flower is not water soluble, I don't want to paint over it. I'm going to just use my glue stick and not chance that. The little flower on her cheek. I just love making these cards, and you know, it doesn't take too long, especially if you've got your materials out, and once you kind of create a pattern or formula for the card, then you can make a whole bunch in a short amount of time. And for me, I feel accomplished when that happens. I really like the making of the items more than anything else.